watching this. Oh, there's the hectocotylis.
Exactly.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
Oh, all right.
Guys,
Getting
keep watching this. Stay here.
Now that we got the ship moving, we got to stop.
No.
We
Transect be
can't.
darned.
Science is happening.
No, we'll keep going. But because it takes forever to get the ship moving back.
We have a fair bit of
How
time
much time
anyway.
do
Yeah, but we have some
time
time.
here? Okay, great.
Unless they need some nice music. Yeah.
Some Barry White music.
Herc needs some speakers.
Light a few candles.
Oh, oh.
What the?
Oh, okay.
Glad I'm not an octopus.
Thinking about it.
Oh,
not good.
it's
Oh,
the
I can
third
see it at the
arm
same
Against
huh?
at the
close.
very top.
So 20 meters off.
Yeah, no, yeah, I see it there.
So they're curled.
Thank you, though.
Looks like there's a bunch of interesting secretions or some fibrous secretions going on in the background behind the female.
You see some?
Along the rocks there.
I don't know if they were there or...
Wow.
Oh, no, yeah, I do
He's
see
grabbing her.
something.
Oh, he's lifting up the mantle opening there. Oh. No,
That's
it's
not
just-
bad.
No, she...
Was it something I said?
She is
Because we were
leaving.
watching, I think. All right.
I wonder if it
I
ended
gotta
up
lift Argus up a
fertilizing or
bit,
not.
Jess.
Yeah, go
We will
ahead.
never know.
We will
We
never
But
know.
that might have been
know.
it. That might have been the process.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the pseudophallus move in under her.
Oh.
Well, only during the struggle.
They rolled around,
Yeah.
and it was underneath.
Okay.
And he may have had an opportunity.
Wow.
Well, that was great.
We'll have to
That
review
well,
the tape.
yeah,
Amazing.
that
Yes,
looks like, can
right.
you do a
Do you
quick
wanna
zoom? I think that's a
Do a
male.
quick zoom on this one too.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I see.
Quick zoom
Quick
in
zoom.
transition.
Oh, you're hiding it.
All curled up.
Yep.
Okay, we're not going to be able to see that.
Okay, coming wide.
All right.
Thank you.
So we have seen a number of females
back on time.
brooding and protecting
Transect.
their eggs. The males that we're finding, do we know if they're living here, if they're just looking for females? What's our hypothesis on that one?
That's all right.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're always looking for a female.
Yeah.
Want to see this
Oh,
guy to
yes,
see if
I
it's
do. Yes,
Yeah, he
please.
should be easy. Looks like he's on display.
Just
Okay,
All right, Wayne, go ahead.
pushing in. Irising down. He's got a suction cup scar on his
It's
head.
folded over.
Oh yeah.
He had a battle. I think so.
that one? That looks like the second arm, though.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is.
It would be on the other side.
Third
Yeah.
arm.
Darn, I thought it was going to be so quick and easy to see that.
He might spin for us. Maybe not.
Want me to keep moving on?
Yeah.
All right,
Think
go ahead
so.
and come wide, please,
Okay,
Wayne.
coming wide.
Just push back up slope a bit.
Yeah,
Argus
sorry.
has not got a lot of wiggle room here.
Roger.
All right, we're moving. Moving and shaking.
When we do initiate the transact again, do we want to try and keep a constant speed and a constant height and a constant zoom?
That would be good, but we do have permission
well,
to
I'll
stop
give you
if we
that.
see
Thank you very much,
something
sir.
incredible and take some images.
I thought that was our people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm back on the line.
Seems that the at the rate of progress that the ship's able to make on the surface.
Speed's a little out of our control right now.
Yeah.
They're pushing it, and we get a good burst, and then a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty good at this moment.
Yeah.
Mike, you want to bring your head around to what are we going at? 030
All right.
still?
This is Wayne, video engineer, signing off for dinner, handing over to Ashley.
Thank you.
And this is Taylor Ann saying hi back to Joey. I was on dinner break if you're still watching, but thanks for the shout out.
I don't know. Every few, yeah.
Doing a few handovers and switch out for dinners, making sure all of our scientists are well fed as we continue to explore Davidson Seamount. So we are here within the National Marine Sanctuary, Monterey Bay, or Monterey, a little bit offshore than the bay. And we're trying to understand a little bit more about this habitat where we have spotted octopuses, or octopodes that we found last year. And so last year we didn't have this much time to explore, and so we have wanted and hoped to come back all year, and we've had a few different chances throughout the year, and we've got this dive as well as another dive coming up where we're trying to learn all that we can about this habitat, this environment, why there might be so many of these octopodes here, because we usually see them sort of solitarily brooding, and so having a nest by themselves. But in this area we have found hundreds of them. So what is it about this area that brings them here? And we're still hoping to find out. It's going to take us a little while to answer all of these scientific questions. And while we're studying them, we would love to hear your questions. So bring them on in from Nautilus Live, and thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, we've got some curious people about sharks. We do have some sharks down at this depth. We have not seen any on this dive yet, but there are some deep water, deep sea sharks. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I love them, that we'll be able to see at least one. But do remember that Herc is very bright and very loud, so our fish friends may hear him coming from a while, and especially our sharks who've got an electrosense that are able to tell sort of the electrical pulses around them. They may not want to hang out by us, which is unfortunate because they are beautiful.
I think we can continue on the transect.
I've got another cephalopod question. Are scientists ready?
We're ready.
All right. Are there other creatures, maybe squid perhaps, that have a modified arm like the male octopus for reproduction?
I don't know about the squid.
I don't know about the squid either. I think so.
Yes, I believe squid do.
Yes, I
pretty
believe
sure
so as well.
Yeah.
I think they do a very similar reproductive pattern as our octopus. I think at least for sort of common pelagic species. I am no expert on deep sea squids. That I think is a little trickier for us. Do these octopus have a varied diet, or are they more specialized? Do we know what these guys munch on at all?
We're doing a quick swap for dinner. The two scientists, so Erica Burton and Amanda Kahn, are being swapped out with Jen Brown and Annie Hartwell. Oh, sponge skeleton. Man, I always have to leave at these awesome times we see these things.
You want to push in there a bit, video?
No, we don't have to. We should continue on the transect mostly. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, thank you. It's nice.
It just happened that that one was at the right angle to look down inside. Don't often get that.
True. Neat. Looks like there are small sponges growing on it and within it.
That's what I was just about to say. Looks like there's little sponges in there. So if this keeps going and the little sponges grow and the big sponges will become a bioherm, will it not?
Yes.
Woo! I've been learning so much about sponges. I now know these dead sponge reefs are called bioherms.
Bioherms.
I know, right? Cool
That's
name,
very
right?
Cool.
And they can get very large.
Perfect. Okay, it looks like the ship is moving steadily, so our kind of technique is to get out ahead a little, and then if you see something you want to stop and have a look at, we can do about that amount of length of time and then keep moving.
Sounds good.
Unless you want to be on a heading for a transect, but that's kind of get out ahead, stop, smell the flowers, and then move on again.
Could we rise up a little bit just to get a little wider view?
Sorry, say again?
Could we just, if we rose up above the seafloor a little bit more, we might be able to see just a little bit more off into the distance?
Yeah, copy that. I'll just kind of face the cliff here, and then I'll come up a bit so you'll get a better view.
Great, thank you.
How's that?
That's good. We could go even a little further. I think they really do, the octopus do show up pretty well in this nice clear water.
That's another half meter up there, a meter up.
Great, thank you.
Start to lose the light.
We got one that's all spread out down there.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, not as much purple on that one, on the body.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the octopus that we are seeing that are sort of in this upside down position are females, and they are brooding or protecting a clutch of eggs.
Do you want a closer look at this one?
We don't, I mean, if we have time to just do a quick.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
It's easier for me to come closer rather than zoom in, because if you zoom in from that far away, 4 meters up, I can't hold it in the picture. Okay, you can zoom there.
There. Just looks very different coloration than we've been seeing on the others.
And the arms are much more purple.
Okay, they still have two rows of suckers, because some octopus species have one. They're showing similar behaviors too. So maybe they are able to change their coloration a little bit. We just have seen most of them with the other coloration pattern. Pretty interesting. This behavior looks very familiar to what some of the other octopus have been doing.
It does, and it's got that curled third arm, correct?
Yep.
So we're looking at a male here.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to show off a little bit.
They have to have some ways of sensing the environment that doesn't rely on vision.
Okay, full wide video.
In this deep environment where there's no light. Thank you for that.
Our
So you think they're sensing their environment with having all of their arms out, or you think through their skin?
I mean, I was thinking that they might be almost like sniffing the water with their arms, but I don't really know all the different sensory components of what is on the arm and how feasible that is. Any ideas, Annie?
I guess one thing to consider is within this octopus's lifespan, how many different environments are they bound to encounter besides these fluid discharge areas? And so it makes me wonder what kind of things they would need to sense in this environment. Are they looking for danger? Are they looking for current flows? Are they looking for females in that case? I guess we could look up the behavior of shallow water octopuses and try to draw conclusions, because those are there's much more opportunity to study shallow water octopuses than there is deep water octopuses.
Yes, there is. And the females, we know when they're brooding, they're not eating. They're, but I don't know about the males when they're roaming about, whether or not they're also still actively seeking, looking for food as predators.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We haven't really seen, we haven't been much on the sediment at this dive, so something that we might see them doing in the sediment is like crawling along it. But didn't they, earlier on the dive, didn't they see a female octopus intake a whelk and then seem to expel it?
I'm not sure how the whelk got onto the female octopus, but then, yeah, she did reject it. She didn't consume it.
So we're seeing a number of different particles kind of floating through the water in front of us. Is this sort of marine snow, plankton, a little bit of everything?
Well, it is marine snow, and plankton will be a component of that, right? Plankton that's traveled all the way from the surface and slowly sunk down to the depths that we're here at Davidson Seamount. So that's a component of the marine snow. Other components of marine snow would be cells that are sloughed off of organisms as they're going about their business, as well as excrement that's released from the different animals that are up in the water column. So all different kinds of organic matter that is generated in the waters above and then slowly rains down on the seafloor below.
And that's a great source of nutrients for lots of our things living down here on the bottom.
Right down here, there's no sunlight, so we don't have photosynthesis like we do on, land or in the surface waters to feed the bottom of the food web. So a lot of this energy that's raining down is what is driving the food web.
That guy's doing like the rock on symbol.
Right, 2 arms extended out.
Push in there, video.
Stretching.
That's good, thanks.
And another male, looks like.
Yep.
You can see the heterocotylus.
That's a pose, right?
I think you could definitely say strike a pose. We could say this octopus is voguing, I think.
Yes, voguing octopus.
That's a technical term, voguing. No, I'm kidding.
Very scientific, yeah. So if you guys on Nautilus Live can see our lasers, that's about 10 centimeters apart. So that gives you a good idea of how big the octopus and the corals and structures that we are looking at are.
You can see some of the bruising.
Hmm?
Some of the scarring and injuries to these octopuses we're seeing really suggest that they have a relatively interactive life with other organisms.
Yeah, this is going to gross me out, but go for full zoom there.
On the blue,
Yes.
bruised arm.
You can see all of those suckers.
But yeah, so on the right side, you see that blue there? That could be a bruise.
Oh, sort of in that web skin.
Well, if you go to the arm that's curling back on the right side, you see kind of an area with some blue, and it's possible that could be a bruise.
Okay.
Because their blood is blue.
Zoom out.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Hello.
He's got a couple blue spots.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like he...
And we have
got
seen them
fight.
interacting sometimes in ways that looks a little, like they're not getting along.
And plus they have other organisms down there that
might be trying to eat
with
them.
sharp claws.
Oh, back into that extended voguing posture.
Okay, off we go.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. Some more.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
So these octopuses generally have been in the upright position, and we haven't seen discharge since we started the transits. Is that true?
As far as I know, they haven't seen any discharge.
And we haven't seen any eggs. We just saw that one sighting of the oviducal cement.
We have another dead sponge there in the lower right, and then looks like a yellow sponge above that on the right side.
Pretty vertical here.
So there's a female that's upside down.
Yes. Can we zoom in on her?
Is it possible, without having to move too much, to zoom in on that one octopus to the left?
Sure.
See if there are eggs under there?
Go ahead, Ashley. You can push in a bit. A bit more if you want. That's good, thanks.
Thank you. Hard to
I can't tell. Thank you.
There might be a little bit of
I see a
shimmering.
little shimmer.
Yeah, up above the octopus. It looks like it's shimmering, not intensely, but
It's still there.
yeah, some carnivorous sponges here.
This might be a place to note we've observed shimmering. Okay.
Can we zoom out? There was another octopus in the just want to see how far away it was.
Just up in the left.
Yeah. There's two more. I think was that the arm of one there? Oh no, that's a sponge. Okay.
Okay, this is neat.
Mm-hmm. See kind of that blackish rock going up.
Yep. Yeah. How it almost looks like.
Oh, look, and up to where these are here.
We're starting to see more of them.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some good watches every time we come in here. See some cool stuff.
I'm curious whether or not that group of four. Oh,
yeah.
oh, here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Let's try to see if we can see any shimmering closer to where those
You know what kind of
cluster
fish
is to
that
the bottom
is?
right.
That is a grenadier.
Grenadier.
Would you like a closer look along the way
Yes,
in here?
where do you want to go? There's these rocks that are pretty black with some whelks around them that are to the right of the lasers. Do you want to look there? So we're looking for areas where there isn't as much sediment and the rocks have a blacker appearance as a signal for potential.
Hang out.
And then in the bottom you see two octopus interacting as we're flying by.
Yes.
Kind of
And that actually looks like a male walking over a brooding female.
Yeah. All right, I'm curious if there'll be some shimmering going on down here.
Maybe upper in the octopus up in the little
cubby?
Cubby hole? Yeah.
To the left of the lasers?
I'm torn. I want to see both. If we have time to see both, that would be great.
Zoom in on the cubby.
Say again, please.
It'd be great to see both. If we could start the one on the left up in the cubby and then maybe pan over.
Yeah, zoom. Yeah, quick zoom there.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Slight, maybe.
I think there's, if you look at the arms at the underneath, it kind of seems like maybe there's some shimmering there.
Yeah. Really, really low temperature, if any differential. Thank you for that zoom.
Then can we
go
over to the right? Before we leave them, whether or not we can push in for a quick peek.
Okay, Ashley, zoom in there, please.
Which one? And at this grouping, right? Yeah, just like that. Oh yeah, that looks like shimmering.
That's definitely.
We know shimmering here as well. Should we drop a mark?
Yeah.
Miles, can we drop a marker here? Just this general area has shimmering.
And but I don't know, like 15 brooding octopuses in the vicinity.
I know we've talked about it a little bit before, but for those who are just joining us, can we talk a little bit more about the shimmering? What's happening when we're seeing that in the water?
That shimmer is letting us know that there's some there's some warm water escaping from these cracks in the rocks and mixing with the cold water around the octopus.
Did I what?
So just like when you look at warm asphalt on a really hot day and you see the air over the asphalt shimmering because it's warm air coming off the asphalt, we're seeing a similar phenomenon here. And we are often finding these brooding females associated with the shimmering. We do see brooding females in areas where we don't detect shimmering, but we are seeing maybe you could say a higher density of brooding females in areas where we're detecting shimmering, and we oftentimes see a little higher density of some of the associated creatures. In this case, these spiral-shelled snails called whelks.
Lots of discoloration. You can see some oviductal cement up above this octopus right on the top of the image.
So the octopus on the top, if you look on the rock, you see kind of bronze-colored stuff, but then you also see some greenish-gray, and that's what the oviductal cement, and that's what's used to hold egg cases of the octopus to the rock's surface. There, you
So
got a
that's
nice look at the shimmer there.
material to the right of the octopus.
Oh, yeah,
and
right
sort of
and
the left
above.
of the whelk,
Above the top octopus.
above the octopus.
Then you see a grayish green.
Mm-hmm.
That's the oviductal cement.
Show, you can see some of her eggs. She's kind of glimpsing her egg. You can see the top where the stalk is attached to the rock.
Underneath her curled arms to the upper left.
Mm-hmm. She's not going to give us a good view, though.
But yeah, hopefully everyone can really see the shimmer now that we're zoomed in here. Looks like the screen is waving, has a waving surface to
This
it.
isn't a possibility for us to get a temperature right because we're in transit. Okay.
Yeah, so that will
Nope.
take a while.
Yeah, never mind.
I think it's good to mark it and we can continue on. We can't hear you.
Sorry, we're Argus is just above us now, so it's about time to move on.
Okay, this
Or
is great
up
though.
above.
We've got some great footage here.
Coming white.
Roger.
So at dinner, the galley was playing Barry White music while I was getting my food.
Is that because your voice kind
I-
of reminds them of Barry White?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Could be the...
Look, they're everywhere. We've got some of our fans on Nautilus Live, our future explorers, current explorers, all excited about all of the octopuses that we are seeing here. It is amazing that nobody knew this was here not too long ago. That is so true, Jason. It's just
the
so
last year.
interesting.
A
Yeah,
year
last
ago.
year we had no idea. So think about all the amazing things that still may be down on the bottom of the ocean that we don't know about. So this is just one piece of a huge puzzle, but it is incredibly exciting to see so many of these females and a few males.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're definitely noticing more here than we've been seeing in other parts of the transects that we've been doing.
This must be another good spot. So we've got an octopus spa, which was this like the octopus timeshare?
Oh, it looks like this has been dubbed the Octo Shimmer, which I think is fun.
Ooh, that's much better.
I think this is where they go disco dancing and voguing.
Yes, this is the spot where all the octopus must vogue.
They don't burn very many calories in that dancing.
It is the slowest voguing I've ever seen.
It's
but
the slug dance.
They sort of hold a pose, then move, hold a pose, move.
They took that strike a pose part of the song very seriously.
They did.
If our viewers, like if they're, coming along looking with us, our eyes are drawn to areas where we see the octopus, the rocks around the octopus are much darker, looking black, and also sometimes when we're seeing like sprinkles of whelks or groupings of those big peachy anemones. These are things that are catching our eye and helping us find some of these interesting features.
Oh.
So you would say you're sort of scanning the whole area of the bottom. We see our octopus, and then it kind of leads our eye around the different rocks to find other creatures.
Yep.
So keep your eyes out, explorers.
But sometimes I'm seeing the, say the whelks almost before to help me figure out which octopus I want to zero in on. Does that
It
make
looks
sense?
like they're running along the slope here. They kind of stopped when we flattened out. It's going to come to the east a bit there.
What's that dark floating thing right near the center of the screen?
Dark floating thing.
It's floating. It's about halfway to the edge of the.
There
going.
have been some red.
Yeah.
Some red
Jellyfish?
jellyfish
Yeah, that's
that
what it
from
looks
this
like.
distance will look black. They only
Yeah.
look red when we get closer and the lights are on them. All right, looks like my time with you has come to an end. Erica's back from dinner, and she is chomping at the bit to get back on here with you and to explore for octopus. We just found some shimmer, so hopefully you guys will find some more. All right, thanks everybody. I'll be back on the 12 to 4 watch, so come spend the late nights with us.
Yeah, I imagine we're reaching about the halfway mark of of this dive.
Halfway, yeah, I think we are. We're just about halfway. I know a lot of you have been watching us all day long. Some of you are going to bed now. Some of us are waking up, enjoying Nautilus Live here. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been out for, I guess, about 15 hours now. And so we've got another 15, maybe 20 more to go. So we're so happy to have you guys tuning in and exploring with us. You guys are coming along on this journey to see what else is down here at the seafloor. So we are exploring part of the Marine National Sanctuary. And we are looking.
Did you get a depth on that?
There are Octopus Garden.
Last waypoint?
On the last one?
Yeah.
What we can learn about the habitat of Davis's seamount here. So as you guys are tuning in, feel free to send in your questions. We did have a question about one of our hitchhikers before. We had a lovely lady, octopus scientist, that was assisting our Herc pilots with the Predator arm, or maybe just hanging on for some fun. But she has since left. She went off on a new adventure. We do, I believe, still have a stowaway taking a nap on our front porch. She's all tucked up inside a coil. And we're continuing to see who else we can find out here in our environment. We've got a few questions about our octopus. We really don't know a lot about their life cycle or their life history, so we're unsure if they kind of return to the same area. We've seen multiple different sort of egg stages in our dive, so we think that this is kind of a cyclical laying area, that they do come to this spot for that, but we're not really sure if that answers all of our questions yet. So we're trying to understand a little bit more about the other factors that would play into this. For those of you that, oh, sorry.
No, keep going, sorry.
For those of you that have missed some things and are looking to view other footage, we will be putting up our highlight reels at nautiluslive.org, so you can check out our pictures and photographs and some video clips of what's happening and what has happened.
So one of the things that's neat as we fly over the seamount and observe it for the first time is just to take a look at the variety of the different rock shapes. Some of the places look like they're more smooth, like they might be low weight flows, and then other areas look like they're sheet flows, and then other areas look like they're a lot more rubbly, where it's more broken up rock. And so those kind of differences could be related to the history of the geology for this area. And some scientists, probably none on this ship right now, would visit this kind of site to study those specific things.
What do we know about our geology of this site?
I think it's a basaltic fissure. It's about 9.8 million years old. It's a ridge flank hydrothermal discharge site. And one of the Monterey Sanctuary scientists may be able to fill you in more on the geology of the area.
Yeah, it is on an abandoned spreading center, which several of the seamounts off this coast are. And like Annie said, it last erupted about 9.8 million years ago. Here comes some more octopus.
Here they come. I see a sea cucumber. We got another field of octopus. Do we know what a group of octopodes are called? Do we have a name for this?
A floctopus?
A floctopus?
I don't know the answer to that.
A podopus? I don't know. We've got to come up with a name. There's so many other creatures that have groups like that.
We do know that.
Looks like a beautiful sponge down there on the right.
We do know that squid eggs tend to be called mops. Don't know if the octopods are the same. The squid, the octopus. Sort of looks like a mop.
Push in there a little bit, Wayne.
Okay, partial zoom. Let me get the iris right.
Caulophacus?
Can't tell until we see the stalk. Caulophacus would have a white stalk. That on the front looks like a hyalonema, but that would have kind of a dirty stalk because it would have bare
I
spicules.
think I see a dirty stalk.
Oh, so it's a hyalunematid.
Mm.
Hyalonema sponge. These are
Yeah.
called tulip sponges.
Huh.
Only I don't know that that looks hyalonema-like. This is in the book.
I'm gonna get my glasses out.
Let us consult the book. Oh, I bet there's shimmer here. Look, there's more whelks. And the sediment is cleared off of those rocks.
Is that from the octopus or from...
You want to come down just a
Fluid
couple
flow.
meters for me?
Probably a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B.
So we had called that Caulophacus, species new, being described, but I don't know if it's the same
Okay,
Ah.
Wayne, zoom in.
All right,
Maybe I
pushing
see
in.
what it means by the back there. That's what to look for a Caulophacus. Is that
Oh, it
one?
is?
See what
The
we
white,
can see.
yeah. But we didn't see all the way up on the underside
Maybe
of the
come out
sponge.
just a bit.
This is what you were calling the other
Let me
one?
know if you want to mark a target here.
If it had a...
Oh no,
if it had a-
hyalonema.
Oh.
All right, let's.
Science, did you want to mark a
Perfect.
target here for the shimmer?
there.
Yes, please.
You got a clever name for it?
A clever name.
I mean,
Oh. Oh.
now's your chance.
Okay, challenge accepted. Boy, on the spot like that. Hey, Erica.
A clever name for what?
For this waypoint.
Oh. Gosh. I would just describe it how long we are along on the transect line.
That sounds like a good, clever name.
If it's midway, a third, a quarter. I don't know where we are on the transect line.
10-9 midway, something like that.
I didn't know we were naming things.
I think Jen told me they named the previous waypoint Octo Shimmer.
Yeah, that was me.
that was
I
you, right,
gonna-
Miles?
Yeah, I was going to toss it up.
Oh. Well, what do
Zoom
you
in
have
there,
We
here?
call it Mount Doom, Mordor.
Sorry, Dan, what was that?
You can push in there on the eggs.
You want more zoom?
It's kind of the power of
Yes,
the
please.
cartographer here.
You have ultimate control cartographer.
Could call it the Lawrence Welks.
It's hard to see if there are any eyes in here. The Lawrence Welks. Oh, you.
no. That's good.
There are a lot of them.
A group of
Sold
octopodes
to
is
Lawrence
called
Welks.
a consortium.
A
A
consortium?
consortium.
Goodness, how professional.
Oh, that is it.
Yeah, that
Hey
is
guys, what are the
very
small little
interesting.
white pill-looking isopods crawling there by the whelks?
Amphipods, I think. Because I
Are
see
they
one.
amphipods?
Yeah,
I
on
can't
the
tell in the
side.
lounge.
Yeah, those small white guys. I see one that's kind of sideways profile in the bottom of the screen right now, so that's an amphipod. No idea which kind.
We have any more zoom, Wayne?
That's it. That's all I got.
All the zoom.
I hear it's a dancer
You have all
with
the
the Lawrence
zoom.
Welks troupe.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, now you're just getting ridiculous.
Well, you asked for it.
Cheekiness is welcomed.
No.
Can we look at the other octopus?
Coming a little bit wide.
Hey, Wayne, why do Nidarians sleep so well?
I'm not playing this game.
Sounds like a dad joke. Okay.
Because the
Push in
sea
there.
is silent.
Yes, please. That was actually pretty good.
That's good. Look at this
Don't
thing on the
encourage
right
him.
bottom.
It's a kite. Oh, that thing. Oh, look at that down to the bottom right of the octopus in the corner of the
Looks like a
screen.
centipede or something.
That?
It does. I'll bet it's a polychaete. Maybe even a scale worm, although I can't.
Hold on.
Oh, it
Let me
does
change
look
It
like
has
a
that appearance of a
Let me
scale
get the
worm.
focus on
With
it.
does.
so many legs.
But definitely
polychaete.
Polychaetes are segmented worms. They come
That's-
in so many diverse shapes.
Deep water
There's also a
worms.
chitin on the far right. You can see the 8 plates of its shell.
That's all the zoom I got.
Oh, very cool. Have we collected any of these whelks?
We
Yes,
did.
We
yes.
did. Okay.
Okay, we can come out of Zoom now.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Coming wide.
Moving on.
Moving on. Past the Lawrence whelk. And the amphipod wall flowers.
It's just words now.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
there's a nice acorn worm in that sand patch where the lasers are just above right now. That's that green
In
one
full
you were
display.
talking about.
Push in a bit there for you if you want mine.
Okay.
Briefly, yes, that would be great.
In that patch right there?
Oh, there's one there too. I was looking down at the lower patch.
An acorn worm.
There.
There he is.
See if you
Holy-
retract
oh,
Why
some
are
of
these
that
guys
bump.
called acorn worms?
It looks
Oh,
different.
that's not an acorn worm.
I think
That
that's
is a
a
spoon
spoon
worm.
worm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a spoon worm.
Spoon worm.
A spoon worm?
Look at that.
Echyurin is another name for them. So
Oh,
we're
there's
not
a sea
seeing the
star
body
on
of
the
the worm
left,
right now.
too.
We're seeing the proboscis, which the body is burrowed under the sediment, and then the proboscis sticks out.
Oh, so how big are these guys then? That's a pretty big worm.
I don't know the answer to that. We collected one.
Very cool.
Uh-huh. Dane has something to say.
Eurychus is also an echyurin, right?
Uh-huh.
And they get 8 inches long, but they grow in mudflats.
It's true. Well, this guy is in the sediment. So we collected a green spoon worm with embari.
Okay, full wide, please.
Full wide.
Oh, from here. Yeah. And we found one of these. The body was not very big compared to the proboscis. It was probably only about a quarter of the length of the proboscis. And bright green. Thanks for zooming. Not a hemichordate.
They're kind of like the antlions of the deep sea.
Maybe so.
So they have really big sort of proboscis that would grab or get their food, and then not so much of a
Well,
rest of them.
I don't know about this species. The fat innkeeper worm, that's not really how they work, but they don't have a big proboscis.
No, they put out, they live in holes that they excavate in the sediment, and they put out a mucus net, and they suck water in one end of the hole through the mucus net and out the opposite end, and then they consume what they capture in the mucus net.
Ah. So there's a variety of ways they can feed.
Did you say that was called a fat innkeeper worm?
Yes.
That is a fantastic common name.
Is this a cusk eel? Because it has...
No.
Oh.
This is a grenadier. This is Coryphonoides armatus, which is the abyssal grenadier. I think that's its common name.
The upside down. There we go.
And you tend to see more of these at these depths, this species.
Could you say that species name again?
Coryphonoides armatus.
Thank
He's
you.
really close.
He is.
That is
He's
fabulous.
Gonna hit, he's
Look at
gonna hit
those
the
lips.
lens.
He's gonna
hit the lens.
Hello.
Fish slap.
That is a beautiful tail, though.
Okay.
So more octopus is there.
Woo.
Yeah, that was the abyssal grenadier.
Would this taste good? I'm not really sure what you're referring to. The grenadier?
Grenadier are sold, mostly the Pacific grenadiers. They're shallower, and they are sold when other fisheries aren't doing so well in terms of catch. And
so you can't eat them.
You can. People barbecue them with some garlic, and they like them. It's
Weren't
a cheaper
they-
flesh, cheaper fish.
Weren't they called rat tails? And then when they wanted to market them as seafood, they changed the name to grenadier.
Yeah, I don't know if
Sound a
they
little
changed
nicer.
it, but that's a common
They
name.
Added.
Two different common names, but they will more often call it grenadier when it's on a display of meat rather than the rat tail. No one wants to buy rat tails to eat.
Probably is not going to get too many stomachs rumbling there. Is it sort of a white, flaky fish, or is
Yes.
it a thicker? Okay.
Yep. Some people compare it to rockfish, but rockfish, I don't eat fish, so I don't know. But some of these deeper ones, they're pretty watery. They're not as good, I don't think, but the Pacific do okay in the market.
There's an octopus. Looks like it's going the wrong way.
How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
No.
Is it 10
I give.
tickles?
10 tickles?
10 tickles. Please always be on my watch. You are always on my watch.
To some protest. This was a dad joke.
Him.
Oh, groaners.
You know, Wayne, I'd do it just for you.
Yes, I do. I do.
My 10-year-old is also listening, so he's really probably enjoying that. So.
26 minutes is 300.
Soon to be 11-year-old.
Here's a good question. Is ocean acidity affected by depth?
Who wants to take that one on?
Well, not
that's a big
strictly by
question.
depth. It's affected by, I guess, the carbon dioxide concentration in the water, right? And so we do see higher pHs, or should I say lower pHs at depth associated with the higher concentrations of carbon dioxide because of all the respiration that's taking place on the seabed. And it's a long ways away from the surface where air, oxygen is incorporated in the surface water through turbulence, as well as photosynthesis taking place in the photic zone. So, but strictly speaking, temperature, I don't think so. Or depth.
Depth.
Well, although there is the calcite compensation depth and the aragonite compensation depth, so those are depths where an animal can produce skeleton at a rate that equals the rate that that skeleton is dissolving, essentially. And so their depth does matter, at least in terms of whether something that has a calcium carbonate skeleton can actually produce that skeleton or not. And that depth varies depending on which ocean basin you're in, yes, what temperature you're in, and what the CO2 concentration is in the water. Since CO2 in the water turns into acid in essence. So
Right.
CO2 doesn't stay CO2 when it's in the ocean. It turns into carbonate and quickly to bicarbonate. And it's the bicarbonate and carbonic acid that's produced that makes acidic water from CO2.
Doesn't work if I'm muted. There we go. So that
Hello,
was a
you're back.
fantastic answer. Thank you. And you keep in mind, explorers, that there are many different factors at play here down in the depths. So there's always a different aspect of
male.
something to learn
is?
about and question.
I'm sure the bottom one is a male.
You can see it?
It's behind the head now.
Oh, all the way back there.
Yeah.
It's a tug.
Oh, I got another groaner for you, Wayne.
No.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, please.
When does a rockfish become a heavy metal fan?
No idea.
When he hits rock bottom.
I love that the viewers are chiming in on this.
What does that say about heavy metal fans?
I don't know, but I am one.
They're deep
so
sea.
Okay.
be careful.
Have you hit
Okay,
rock
now it's
bottom?
hiding its
I
tentacle.
can't
We
say
can
I've
continue.
hit rock bottom. Well, I mean, I am at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
So maybe
And there are
I
rocks.
have. And there are rocks.
What
but I am
is that conical
so
basket
excited.
weave type looking shape?
That is a sponge, but it's a dead sponge. So
Oh,
the
okay.
skeleton gets coated in this manganese crust.
Sorry.
Oh, is that a benthic siphonophore down there? Is that bright red
manganese
thing?
crust?
Yeah.
Where?
Down in the
Wow.
crevice underneath to the left of the rock.
The orange thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys, can you zoom on that small orange thing under the crevice? I'm so demanding.
Yeah, give me a second to.
Is that Dromalia?
It's the only one I know of is Dromalia.
Can't bring my head around really because I'm too far away from Argus there. So
Oh, okay.
let me try and land on this heading and see if I can center it up. Okay, Wayne, zoom in there, please.
Zooming in.
Is it? Is it? Oh, yeah. I believe that is. I don't know the genus. We're trying to look that up, but that is a benthic siphonophore. So siphonophores usually swim in the water column, but there are some that live on the seafloor. That's very neat. It's beautiful.
All of those little
Wow.
projections off of it, are those legs? Are they like threads?
They are, I guess you could call them tentacles in them, right?
Tentacles?
And
it might be this one, Thermopalia, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
You're like 35 meters off our line.
Would they
But
be
yes, but
stiff or
Thermopalia
kind of squishy? Or,
Pteroxaca.
what's the purpose of those
They're-
tentacles?
Those tentacles are for hunting food. So these siphonophores are cnidarians, which we talked about earlier. The unifying trait that they have are these stinging organelles called nematocysts. And those are used to sting or to ensnare prey. So all of those threads are covered in nematocysts, and as crustaceans pass by or anything else unfortunate enough to go into that web, they'll be stung and captured.
Okay, coming wide.
Thank you. That was great. What was it called again? Thermopalia?
Thermopalia?
Thermopalia. Pteroxaca.
Wide.
I've got a question of, is that a dandelion ctenophore?
Dandelion ctenophore.
I know, that's a nice name.
I do
That
like
is
that
a
name.
beautiful
I'm not
name.
familiar with that name.
Hello.
That's a
Grenadier?
giant cuskeel.
Oh, that's a cuskeel. I can't get them. Can't get them straight.
Don't worry, me
Wow.
too. I'm working on it. Oh, there's that sponge again.
There's a
I'm banking on it being at the end of one of our transects, and then we'll grab it when we're waiting
What's
for the
that?
ship.
A
The
sponge?
yellowish
sponge,
green
the
one?
weird,
Oh.
yeah, yellow-green sponge.
The neon one.
Everybody
Mhm.
look
lot-
at all of our octopus.
a lot more octopus.
Yeah, this is probably a total CP area.
Yeah.
Can you mark this, please, Miles?
What do you want to call it?
Octo wall? Rubble?
We'll have to get creative.
We are gonna have to. Where are we in relation to Octo Spa and Octo?
We are just downslope of the vertical vent.
Oh, okay.
They're all tucked
we're in the
into little
vicinity.
crevices.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a question from our audience. Does this sort of environment look healthy? Do we think this is what the seafloor is supposed to look like? How would we decide?
Well, sometimes diversity is an indicator that it's doing well. Although, yeah, for the most part. Although disturbed environments can also be biodiverse, but Davidson seems to be a very diverse habitat, especially at the peaks of the seamount in terms of corals and sponges, but we do see a lot of diversity here. You see all the animals we're seeing. It is a hard substrate, so it has to be things that can settle on hard substrates and not burrow into the mud so much. It's a shallow veneer, I think, here. Amanda, do you have anything to add about health? And
Just that we don't have a baseline on this location. You know, we only
That's right.
visited for the first time last year. So all we can say is what its state is now, but we have no idea if this is healthy or degraded or anything else. So with continued monitoring, we can start saying if it's changing, if it's improving, which one would consider having greater diversity or more abundant life a sign of greater health, or less over time. But yeah, this is our baseline that we're establishing now.
So, as an environmental scientist, I can say that even in shallower depths, it's taken decades of work to come up with metrics that can help decide whether a certain environment is healthy or not. And you need to know the composition of the species that are there, what their patterns of recruitment are, that sort of thing. So, and those involve many, many years of quantitative studies. So looking at this qualitatively, I mean, like Erica and Amanda have said, it looks diverse, but we couldn't really say whether it's stressed or healthy without a whole lot more study, I think.
So that was a really good question, but sorry,
Yeah.
we don't have an answer yet. We're going to take some more time to explore. So we seem to have a
See
consensus
21
that we
octopuses here.
saw dandelion siphonophore before. We got a few different people suggesting that name. It's a common name.
Neat.
Let's see. We're getting a bunch of jokes I will save for later. Don't you guys worry.
Oh, don't hold out on us though either. We
Oh,
gotta
I
get through them by
I won't.
our watch.
We'll
Okay.
make through them.
Okay.
Absolutely. We got some thank yous from some live interactions and some excitement about some future interactions. Oh, here we go. It looks like a fresh coat of dust over everything. Looks new and covering a lot of old growth. Can you talk about that a little bit? Is this sediment? What's going on there?
There is a very thin sediment layer that's probably from
There's
rain
eggs
snow
under that
coming down
octopus.
and dried up sponges and whatnot.
Ooh, before you carry on, down to the bottom left of the octopus, it just went off screen. It looked like there were old egg cementation. See this large rock to the left of it, just now on screen? The bottom third.
What are you looking at?
I mean,
I'm
where
wondering if-
an octopus had been?
Yeah, it just looks like small little nubbins, like they might have been the cemented
Oh, yeah.
bits of
Oh, I
egg.
see what you're talking about.
But it could
there.
also be worm tubes, so if we could just zoom in to take a look, that'd be great.
Kind of right
Okay,
above
to
where
zoom
that
in?
sea star is.
Yes. Sea star, to the left, actually, from
left.
here, quite a bit. So off of this large rock.
There's a bunch of shrimp in there.
Are a bunch of shrimp in there.
You want?
Further to the left.
Let's combine. Right. I think it's the other side of
Just
that
there.
rock. The one that's right in the
Yes.
middle right now.
It is. There's like due just below 6 o'clock to that octopus that's on the screen. Oh, right. No, just a little bit more to the left. And up now. Ah, they are not. So it's worms, worm tubes. It's just now where the lasers are.
There's-
That's what I was
Okay.
looking at. And from a distance, they
There's
look like
something colorful right there,
in that area.
right below the
Octopus.
There are some shrimp in that little
Yeah,
hole.
that must be what
and
I'm
some
seeing.
anemones that
Yeah,
are
that's what it
closed
is.
up.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you for that.
Full wide.
I do see shimmer in the water here as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to double back to the question from the audience about the fine coating of dust. This is something that we typically
Quick one
see,
there, Wayne, just
Okay.
for us.
Let's see what we can find
that
in
we
there.
typically see in areas that are not
Get the
very
lighting
dynamic in terms of ocean currents or wave action.
Wow.
So
Definitely.
it's an indicator of
some
quiet water.
shrimp.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
just
quite a lot of
Definitely
shimmer.
shimmery.
of
Okay.
dead animals
Okay,
and
coming wide.
plants
Thank you.
from above winding up on the rocks and not being swept off regularly.
Full wide.
Thank you.
Do we think we're ready for another dad joke?
I'm always ready for
Always
these.
ready.
Always ready for another dad
I
joke.
can make your computer screen go dark.
Uh-oh. No, don't do that, Wayne. Then we wouldn't be able to talk to all of our explorers. I think this one's very clever. If the umbilical cable falls off the shelf and breaks, whose fault is it?
The ground's fault.
You got it.
Oh, that was good.
Good one.
Well, that's somebody who knows what they're talking about.
There you go.
A technical dad joke.
That's an
I love it.
inside joke.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
No.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, that's no.
Let's hope we don't have ground
We're not
faults.
going to have that. But if for some reason disaster did happen, I learned that Hercules is just slightly positively buoyant, which means if something crazy happens, it's definitely not going to happen, knock on wood, it would slowly float to